It was a Sunday evening. Sounds kind of like I'm starting a Halloween story. It was a Sunday evening. I was scrolling through Insta and I saw this meme come by. So I forwarded it to Femi and I said, you know, nobody should be feeling this way about going to work on any day, on Sunday, Monday, doesn't matter. So I said, this needs to be our first slide at our ATECH talk.
And here we are.
Yeah, here we are. So on paper, Femi and I are kind of an odd pair, but we'll get into that a little bit later. Our lifestyles are very, very different. But what we do have in common is that looking back, both of us subconsciously spotted an opportunity to provide something to our community that they could use. And well, we basically convinced everybody that's what they've been missing all this time. So yeah, that's the formula we use now for all of our new ideas, pretty much. For example, when we work together, we lay down the groundwork as to what we both stand behind and what we feel passionate about. So that's mainly creativity, collaboration, and community. Obviously, the number one C word that we feel most passionate about and excited about is our island of Curaçao, but I didn't think that was necessary to put on the slide, so, you know. So that leads us to how we came about to create a concept that we call Let the Story Be Sold. We do this twice a year on Curaçao. It's an all-day hands-on clinic in which we focus on Instagram strategies, we focus on personal branding, and smartphone photography. Some of you guys in the audience joined that yesterday. So each clinic has a general theme. Last time we did pop-ups and collaborations. And this time, but we have another one coming up next month, and we're going to focus on flat lays and food photography. So every time we do this, we collaborate with different local brands, some of our favorite brands that are related to that particular theme. Sometimes the brands will give a workshop during the clinic. Sometimes they will sit on a panel. Sometimes we do a Q&A session with them. And the intention of bringing on these independent brands is not only to give our participants a more inspo, but also have our participants put all the strategies and everything that we already talked about to use right away. And on the other hand, it also, of course, gives these local brands a kind of cool way to interact with our participants and be able to give them that kind of experiential marketing vibe to showcase their products or services. Our whole plan around it was always to host it at Instagram-worthy locations, so people can already start creating good content right off the bat. So we're pretty excited to be able to announce that we're going to bring a Let the Story Be Sold session to Aruba soon in January. It's going to be in mid-January. For the exact date, I think it's best for you to keep an eye on our Instas. We talk to a lot of local brands, some of our favorite local brands that we follow at a distance here on Aruba. And yeah, so we're putting that together. We're very excited about it. The brands are excited about it. And we hope to see some of you guys there. Yeah, so we'll have our Instagram handles up at the end of this, and then yeah, you guys can check it out.
So, I'm gonna talk about Gaby. Like she said earlier, we're a little bit of an odd pair because I'm a farmer and she's a jet-set global nomad. So she grew up in Curaçao but moved to Holland from a young age all by herself to finish up her international studies. And after that, she got her business degree and studied even more and got her master's degree in strategic planning. She set up the first international union for international students, bringing together like-minded people. And after she graduated, she landed a job at Microsoft, which she decided to quit right in the recession. So who does that, you know? She decided that she wanted to further her education even more and moved to San Diego. After that, she did a number of different freelance jobs, and which one of the last ones landed her back in Curaçao was North Sea Jazz. She set up her own company called Sand and Stilettos, which she creates experiences and works on really cool projects that she comes up with, both locally for Curaçao, but also half of the time in Holland, where she's a digital storyteller for a creative agency. She has her own podcast called The Faux Pod. She won numerous TripAdvisor awards. She coordinates corporate events and does content management for them. She founded a nonprofit organization called Boss & Co. and, of course, last but not least, co-created Let the Story Be Sold with me.
Thank you. So, a little bit about Femi. I always call Femi the pioneer of the Farm-to-Table movement on Curaçao. As a lot of you probably know, eating healthy on an island where, you know, fatty foods and junk food are pretty much on every street corner. Eating healthy is not exactly a mainstream kind of thing, but what Femi and Josh, her partner, did really well was make it cool and make it accessible. They also timed it very well. Their eatery restaurant came up at the same time as a lot of our friends were opening CrossFit boxes or floating yoga studios. But becoming a farmer was probably not the first thing on Femi's mind when she went to Amsterdam to actually, she wanted to focus on beauty and fashion. But she opted to take the safe route and get her degree in marketing communication, which she told me she also had her doubts about at times, but she quickly realized she could apply that knowledge that she gained there in pretty much anything that she would set her mind to later. But while she was in Holland, she discovered her love for farmers markets and seasonal organic eating, and came to the realization that beauty and wellness really started from within, so she still indirectly has something to do with the beauty industry. Then she came back home to Curaçao and started the first farm-to-table concept, like I already mentioned, and that keeps expanding. Next year they're going to open a zero-waste shop on the property as well. And she's always been known to be a very strong advocate for sustainability. In fact, she and Josh won a couple of weeks ago a Sustainability Recognition Award for all their years that they have been contributing to that movement. So I think that deserves a round of applause.
Thanks. Thank you.
So now that you know more about our story that landed us here on the stage, we'll turn to the subject at hand, which is lifestyle design. Lifestyle design doesn't mean living lavishly and bathing in money and getting fanned with a palm frond. Well, I mean, it could mean that for some people, but that's not the case for everybody. Lifestyle design is about you saying no to every single thing in your life that you didn't like, and then consciously working to change everything, all the aspects, in order to live life on your own terms. And the result looks really different for everybody, because your definition of what happiness and success means doesn't necessarily mean that for the person sitting next to you right now. But remember, it's not about living your life for others, it's about living your life for you. Lifestyle design is about defining what that happiness and success is for yourself, and then you just have to work your ass off to get it. One more thing before I turn the floor over to Femi. I did want to say that lifestyle design, we're entrepreneurs, but that doesn't mean that I'm saying designing your life means you need to be a business owner. That's something that we chose. But it could mean getting more out of your current job, or getting a higher position in your company, or maybe moving to another company, or starting a study to further your education, maybe start a side hustle. So yeah, that's what I wanted to add.
All right, so like we said, we're going to give you some tips on how to design your life, things that you can keep in mind, basically the process. So one of the first steps is to create a blueprint. And it's basically like a business plan, but for your own life. So what is it that you want to achieve? What are your long-term goals? And map it out on how are you going to get there. Make sure to make stepping stones in between so you can measure whether you're on the right track, or maybe if you have other life plans that come in between that you can change that course. When I started, I actually had really big plans and I wanted it all to work out right away, but in reality that just wasn't like that. Our business grew very organically, step by step, and it really taught me to take it easy, and it's okay if it goes step by step. And actually, in the meantime, I have refined my goals, and I've been able to balance my work, because, of course, as an entrepreneur, you're constantly driven to work, but to actually also accept and to slow down and to reset, to balance your work life and what you're doing for fun. The second step is no. One back, please. Thank you. The second step is mindset and action, because actually a positive mind enhances the chances of success. Somewhere it is proven to be right. You have to believe in yourself, and you have to also set realistic goals. If you set realistic goals for yourself and you actually conquer those goals, it's something to celebrate, and that's something that you can be proud of yourself, that you can keep on going. You have to also eliminate distractions. Sometimes you have to set yourself offline, put away your phone, maybe measure your screen time. It's scary, but there's an app for that. And also, when your goal mapping, make sure to have your stepping stones, like I said earlier, so you can make sure you spend enough time on it. And along the way, you also will encounter hurdles and setbacks, but those are actually the times when you have to recover and learn from those mistakes, because in the long run, it's going to make you stronger and keep you going. Your support system actually is also very important. It comes in different forms for different tasks and moments in life. You might have coaches and teachers on your team, but family, friends, and partners are also very important. Like we said earlier, our lifestyles are very different, but our values are similar, and our goals. We love creativity, we stand for community and collaboration. So in that, it's very nice to have Gaby by my side, and we can bounce off ideas off of each other. But for other moments in life, I have other friends.
Sadly.
So, just don't just stick to one group of people. They say the people you connect with the most are the people you're going to become. So make sure you have some good people around you. And you know that you'll have a support when you need it. So now to look at the future of lifestyle design. As this world is moving forward and robots are going to be taking over our jobs soon, I think it's important to look back and to the humane factor and to see who you have around you in your community. And jobs might be taking over, but how can we implement technology to do the things, make time for the things that we love to do, and to eliminate things that we don't like to do? And maybe you hate doing dishes, so invest in a dishwasher. It's a silly example, but back in the day it wasn't so crazy, and technology can be more of an investment, but see what is important to you, and then you can save up and invest, and then you have more time to do things that you like. And also in the long run, those technologies now are going to become cheaper anyway, because they just keep on developing new stuff. So eventually, when we have more time for ourselves, we can create stronger communities and develop our cultural backgrounds, we can support each other more and eventually live more fulfilled dreams.